I'm feeling so good cause I got the keys. Coming up out the hood cause I finally made it. Gonna do what I should cause I'm dedicated. Gonna read out the book and you can't debate it. Saying the truth and I'm meditating at the top of the room and I'm elevated. Feeling the doom, try to shake it. Working up out the tomb, about to take it. Hearing a boom, I ain't kinda fake it. If you know you're a fool, if you fuck with Satan. I'm gonna chill in the back blowing Gary. Play a bitch to the left like a lemonade. I got a cake, but I never save it. Stack up the cake, but I never bake it. Stack up the paper, then I will make it. Blow out the vapor, then I'ma hate it. I turn it, then I'm gonna reconnect it. It's about time that I recollect it. I'm about to shine, I'm elected. Put all these diamonds up in my neck. Got an element, it got affected. I value light, then I'm reflecting. Out of the night, then I'm reflecting. I'm coming up fight cause I got the left. Got me shining so bright cause I got the flesh. I'm the gas on the right cause I got the left. They see it through you like a weak confession. You've been worshiping the wrong complexion. You've been praying to the wrong protection. Read the law and now it's all connected. Rome was falling, now it's all effective. I watch them fall, stay off the face. I talk when I talk like a summer shade. Tupac when I talk like I'm not a belly. They tried to lock me up like I'm Ellie. Me and Queen was getting down on the telly. Ladies was calling us for their belly. It was so hot in that bitch like Nelly. I was okay without it selling. Come on, that shit that you try to sell. You niggas think I'ma be the real me. I had to take the bill. You niggas ain't got what it takes to feel. Guess I got the chill. Just let me know when you got the bill. And I'ma let you know when I got the meal. Nigga got the bag and I got the wheel. Coming right back when we got the feel. Coming to relax cause we got the deal. Shorty got my back and I got the shield. Just getting back but they tried to steal. They know so back there about the kneel. I'm about to attack cause I got the seal. I turn on the diamond and reconnected. It's about time that I recollect it. I'm about to shine, I'm elected. Put all these diamonds up in my necklace. Got on the line and they got affected. I by the light and I'm reflecting. Out of the night that I'm reflecting.
Peace, brother. Brother P. Good to be back. Hope you all are doing well, little flockulators.
It's a beat by Flow.
Why you boy left in my way? I'ma be right in my way. Shorty too hot to be gay. Don't give a fuck what you say. I'm looking at you through my shade. Feel like it's time to get paid. It feel like it's one of the days. Woke up and I'm like up a chain. These niggas continue to be staying the same. Won't you listen to what I put in your brain? She give it to me and get beat out the frame. If it's good, then I remember her name. She been at the learn and I hear it again. She be looking back at you like you strange. She did a 40 hours kicking the rain. He and pain was one of the same. Switch lanes on, doing my thing. Put my strain in a white Russian game. You niggas insane if you sell out for fame. And it be the same if you sell out for fame. You pray for the blessing, but none of them came. You thinking you drop shit, but none of them pay. How the fuck do the same shit that I claim? If you went out in the trench with the gang, I am that lion that cannot be tamed. Even my man, he cannot be contained. I'm walking like king and I claim with the chain. Them diamonds were shining and calling my name. Daddy lay down cause I'm high as a plane. Can't open my eyes, I'm so high as a shade. You niggas talking, I just lit up my flame. They stacking up, but I overcame. I'm protected in the blood of the name. If you cut up, you get cut with the blade. Walking at me, I be looking like blade. You see me and you ain't got nothing to say. Shorty looking like she wanna be saved. She just want me to finish her like she Jay. Let it sound much more, I want it like I'm paid. Yellow ball on me, lick like lemonade. Leave us alone, it be that kind of day. You the same thing, you be acting for gays. The same when your man, they be calling you crazy.
Bro said, how the babies and the wife doing? Much better, brother. Much better. Today was a much better day than this day for quite a while. So all praises to the Most High for that. And I know y'all was praying for me. And prayers avail a whole much when you know how to pray. And I know the flockulators know exactly how to pray. So I'm filled with gratitude today. But everybody's doing much better. Thank you for asking, brother. A few minutes, we'll get started like always.
How you gonna tell me about where I come from? No, come from where I come from. Yeah. I ain't gonna talk about and licking at my face. Yeah, I guess that they was snoring when I took their place. Looking like I'm Florence, I be flowing when I'm in the race. He tried to lock me up, I just ignore him and I beat the case. Been a minute since I seen my kids, took them all away. I went within and then I saw my sins and watched them fall away. I was clean, that's why I repented. I'm on fault today. It all depends what you doing with it when you call the name. How you sell yourself and then you call it fame. But you see me do it for myself and then you call me lame. You know that you do it to yourself, but give me all the blame. I'm about to do this for my health and go the other way. Stacking all these blessings in my mind and I'm getting paid. My diamonds they be blind and now they give me shade. And I ain't even violent, but you catch the shade. You just get behind me, I'ma ride away. You the one who called it, what you stalling for? You niggas all in all, keep your jaw from falling on the floor. Crabs in the barrel was clawed to keep me from soaring. Waiting for the day of the Lord to be keeping me from snoring. Ransom.
This boy got a hit.
I walked up out that cell and I don't feel the shame. You missing the cornerstone, so we ain't built the same. Hide up under bushels with your candle, we ain't lit the flame. Blowing on this fish too hot to handle, watch me switching lanes. I don't answer the phone, all my mama knows that I maintain. All that did me wrong, all you gotta say is what you can't say. We ain't coming to play when we walk in, you better vacate. Spin this street like an AK, you niggas be taking a spray. It's been a long time since I've been motivated. My grandma looked into my eyes and told me you gon' make it. No matter what you ever do, don't you ever fake it. No matter what they do to you, don't you ever take it. No matter how far I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna never break. Never. How could I pretend that I was never great? Throughout all the sin, it was men that I was making. I'm standing on my 10 when I jump out the matrix.
I'm trying to hold on, but the grip plastic. Still getting attacked by.
Yeah, 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 yeah. On my own, on my own, yeah. In my zone, I know just me alone. On my own, my own, I go my own, my own. In my zone, I know just me alone. On my own, my own, my own. I'm about to challenge, I got the box. It's like Robocop when you get the shot. Abba gave me the knowledge, I grew the lot. I learned to be solid, this worth not. I get what I need, and ignore a lie. I let it see, let it grow alive. You about to see how I grow up high. Nigga, you about to see how we never stop. Nigga, you about to see how we never stop.
Peace, brother Chris.
It never pop. I'm giving you something you never got.
Good to see you as well, brother.
I'm a god. You hear the beat when I click the file. But you get that, you got
Abba had something he wanted the flaccolators to know. And y'all know me, if I'm able, I'm gonna do it. But it's something he wants us all to know as members of the flaccolators. Something overlooked by a whole lot of people. And unknown to a lot of people as well. But he don't want us to be ignorant of this fact. We're going to be reading from the book of Romans as well, little flock. We're going to be reading from the book of Romans chapter 9. We'll be starting in Romans chapter 9. All right, Romans chapter 9, starting in verse 1. I say the truth in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, God bless forever. Amen. Verse 6. Not as though the word of El hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Now, this is a common verse that we've heard, little flock, and a lot of people reference it. Well, everybody ain't Israel. You may look like an Israelite, but that don't mean you is an Israelite. You see, little flock? Well, there's a true remnant on the earth that Abba has chosen. He calls them his elect. And his elect, did they do anything to earn this election that they've gotten? That's what we need to figure out today. Did they do anything to be this elect group of people out of the nation of Israel? Did God elect them because of anything that they had done themselves? Brother P says no. Isn't that interesting? They didn't do anything. You see that? So let's continue reading and see what we glean from this chapter. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. So now, is it go based on your bloodline? You being elected and chosen? In other words, can you say, I'm the son of Abraham, so therefore, because of that fact, that makes me an elect branch from the nation of Israel? Does it? Because according to this, it don't. You see? So no, that ain't got nothing to do with it. But excuse me. But in the world, you'll see many people that will say that does have something to do with it. This is why I say it's important that right now the little flock get this particular message. You see? Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Stop. What does that even mean? In Isaac shall thy seed be called. What does it mean, little flock? Before we continue. So we know not all Israel is Israel. And we know that just because you say that you're the seed of Abraham also doesn't mean that you're elect. You see? But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. What does Isaac and thy seed be called? What does that mean? Because if we're elect, then we're of the seed of Isaac, then obviously, aren't we? So what does it mean? In Isaac shall thy seed be called. Peace, peace, Raven. Peace. Yeah, it was a rough few weeks, man, but we back. We back, you know. Abba brought us back. We had something we had to say, so Abba brought us back. Brother P, that's right. You see that, little flock? What Brother P got there? In faith shall thy seed be called. Do you see that little tidbit of information right there? Because if you don't see it, then I can't help you when it comes to what you're going to be hearing in this message today. The children of faith. What is faith? Faith is the substance of what you hope for. There's no evidence that you can see it. So do you see how Isaac represents faith? Hope y'all can hear that. Isaac represents a hope in something that Abraham and Sarah could not see, could not fathom, could not believe it were possible. I hope y'all hearing that. I hope you're hearing that. So then that means that there are some people on the earth that have a hope of something, even though they don't have any evidence. Those are called people of faith. Those are called children of Abraham. Those are called after the seed of Isaac. You see that? It's the ones who have faith. That's the group amongst the Israelites that make them Israel. You're not Israel if you don't have faith. The Son of Man came to find what? What did he say? Shall the Son of Man find? So what is he looking for? Hmm. That's right. In faith. So now we get some tidbit into these elect people on the earth at this hour on the earth. They're elect, and you're going to hear about what people are going to say, what it takes to be elect. Don't listen to none of them folks. Don't listen to none of them folks. What will it take for you to be right with God? What does it take for you to be in good standing with God? What do you have to do? What did they do? You see what I'm saying? This is what people of the world are going to be talking about. All kinds of things they did that made them right with God, that caused God to give his attention to them. And they were praying for so long in this certain position. They were fasting for so long that God had no choice but to bless me and make me into what I am. You hear what I'm saying to you all, little flock? Beware of that, because it ain't got nothing to do with it. You hear me? It ain't got nothing to do with it. So let's continue reading. Now that we've cracked open that shell there, that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. It's a code. In faith shall your seed be called. You see that? Continuing. He says, watch this, little flock. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. So who was going to have a son? Abraham? Is that what it says? No. But it does say Sarah. Why do you think it had to say Sarah and not that Abraham would have a son? Because Abraham had many sons, but he didn't have many sons with his wife. He only had one son with her, you see. And once you know what her name Sarah meant, then you'll understand why her name was changed to Sarai. You understand what I'm saying? So it was said that Sarah will have a son. Watch this, little flock. Now, what have I always told you guys? That the story does not stop at the son. The whole world has duped y'all, or as the Bible says, the whole world was deceived that there isn't any other part of the plant coming, that there's only the Father and the Son, and then that's it, guys. Shit. There's nothing else to talk about at that point. Well, how come the Bible keeps talking about another part then? And why I got to come clear it up? And once I clear it up, how come nobody can deny it? That's my question. Why would I come in talking about this third part of the plant? How come nobody can say, wait a minute, he's just lying. He's making that up. How come nobody's been able to say that, guys, if it isn't true? It's probably because it is true. And we're going to get some more insight into this third part of the plant I keep reminding you guys about. Watch. So it didn't just stop with Isaac, the Bible said in verse 10. Watch this. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even our father Isaac. So now Isaac was born from promise. In other words, faith. But that's not the end of the story, because he also conceived and God had to make another choice, just like he did when he made a choice between Ishmael and Isaac. Now, Ishmael represents a child not born of faith. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do you hear how that applies to you in your life? Okay, in case you guys don't know, let me break it down. What I'm saying is, you have done things in your life that were not faith, that did not come out of faith. And if they did not come out of faith, then they were vanity. Some men tried to make a will for themselves. They tried to build their own life up for themselves. They tried to build up an image of who they thought they were. They've tried to make families. They've done all kinds of things, but they didn't do it in faith. And when you don't do something in faith, then you didn't do it. You did it in vain. That's what Ishmael represents in Hagar. You see, a man taking his own will in his own mind, trying to make something happen that God already said he got. You see what I'm saying to you? So how does this apply to you guys? How it applies is, you're going to have people tell you that you have to do certain things in order to stay right with God or to be right with God. Grandson ain't telling you that. Grandson is telling you the truth, that either you is or you ain't. Either you is or you ain't. There ain't nothing you can do to make yourself is if you just ain't. Y'all hear what I'm saying today? And there isn't anything you can do to make yourself ain't if you is. Because we read that right now. Let's continue reading it and y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see exactly what I'm saying. All right. Y'all give me one little second here. All right. Back to the message. So watch this, little flock. So now we see that Isaac was chosen, right? Which means faith, the children of faith. You see, those who have faith are chosen at the end. If you don't have faith, then it doesn't matter what you did, because it is impossible to please God without faith. You see why I'm hitting on that right now? And faith requires you to have hope in something you can't see. Now, if you have hope in something you can't see, then people are going to try to tell you that they need signs, that you are something, that you got something. I need a sign. Well, that's not faith. That's no longer faith if it has a sign. You see why he says, you faithless and perverse generation, always looking after a sign, adulterous. You see? Now watch this. Neither because they're the seed of Abraham. That's right, we read that. Go down to verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, verse 11, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any evil or good. Stop real quick, little flock. So now, God chose one of Isaac's children. That's the part of the story I'm always pointing you guys to, because you haven't heard it. I don't care what you say. God told me you didn't hear it, and he told me to say it because you didn't hear it. You hear what I'm saying to you? This is the third part of the plan. This is the child of faith. This is the results that we're talking about here. You see? They had not done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works. Not of works. Do y'all hear that nice and good? Not of works, but of him that calleth. So what does the grandson part of the story represent? It represents a man who knows that he's chosen by God, despite what it looks like, despite what it sounds like, despite what anybody says you must do, because it's not of works. We just read that. And because he knows that, what else is he going to say to everybody? He's going to tell them the same thing. It's not because of any works you did, man. So when I see people talking about works or trying to tell you to do some works, I get really perturbed. Because as we see here, it didn't matter what the man had did. Is you guys hearing the same thing I'm hearing? Oh, man. Gosh, guys, y'all see this chat? Y'all see this chat? Man, oh, man, I already had to get rid of one person, but guess I'm going to have to do some more spring cleaning. I ain't been here in a minute, but good Lord. Man, y'all see that little flop? 38 Key in the building. He said, Buddy tweaking. Yeah, Buddy was straight up tweaking. Yes, I'm going to do this to God, and you're nothing but a nigger, and all this nonsense. Gosh, golly, man. All right. So, back to what we was talking about here. Now, watch what it's going to say about the children that are not of faith. Watch what it's going to call them, little flock. Watch this. Let's go back to verse 7. Excuse me. Verse 7. Romans 9, verse 7. All right. Neither because are they the seed of Abraham that they are all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Remember that, little flock? That is, they which are the children of the flesh. I want to make sure I get this part. They that are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. For the children of the promise are counted for the seed. Do you hear that, little flock of laters? So somebody break that down for me real quick. The dude I just had to kick out the chat because he was talking crazy. See, he's a child of the flesh. Y'all see that? Live in the living color for us to see. These are not counted as the children of God. Do you hear that? Why is that? That's what we want to know. Brother P said they some freaks. That's for sure. They is, man. They tweak it. They just mad because of what we're doing here at the School of Marvelous Light. See, I got heavily attacked, me and my whole family, man. And it was because of what's happening here at the School of Marvelous Light among the flockulators. Don't you know that that's all it's been about? Then while we take a detour real quick and just talk as a family, it's all about, look, if God is love and what he's trying to do is bring us all into that state of being, then what do you think the enemy's trying to do other than to stop us from loving one another? So the moment we start genuinely doing that, and the signs and proof of our love for one another is us forgiving one another's faults, guys. And that's what I've been witnessing recently among the flockulators. I've witnessed men who are willing to take accountability for their fault and apologize and to ask for forgiveness humbly. And that creates brotherhood. That's not what the enemy wants. Shit, enemy don't want no damn brotherhood. So the moment that started, you see the attack came heavy. You see that, little flockulators? And it's still continuing to come, as you guys can see by my chat here. It's still continuing to come. Phoenix Queen in the building. Peace, P. All right, Brother Chris says, because of no faith. So the children of the flesh came because of lack of faith. How do we know that? Because how did Ishmael get here, guys? Did God say, yes, Abraham, you're going to have you a son there, and his name is going to be Ishmael, and I want you to make sure that you raise him up in the way that he should go and everything? Did God say that? Was it God's plan? Or was that man sticking his nose in something, trying to rationale something and make it be with his own work of his hands? What was he doing? That's what we need to uncover here. Did God say, Abraham, yes, you're going to have a son named Ishmael? Is that what he told him? Brother P says Abraham was trusting his own understanding. So haven't we all done that in our life? We want something, we think we can figure out how to get it, and so we start to do work. That's the only thing humans know how to do.